प्रधानमंत्री और उप प्रधानमंत्री और विदेश मंत्री, उनके रक्षा मंत्री इस तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं, तो इसमें अचरज की कोई बात नहीं है। आखिरकार ये एक देश है जिसने अपना इसका जन्म लेते ही झूठ शुरू हो गया था। 1947 में जब पाकिस्तानी फौज ने जम्मू कश्मीर पे दावा बोला, तो उन्होंने किसी ऐसे वैसे व्यक्ति से नहीं, संयुक्त राष्ट्र से झूठ बोला कि हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं है इससे, ये लोग जो गए हैं वो तो कबायली हैं। वो तो जब हमारी फौज वहां पे पहुंची और यूएन के लोग, संयुक्त राष्ट्र के लोग खुद वहां पे पहुंचे, उन्होंने देखा कि वहां तो पाकिस्तानी फौज घुसपैठ करके आ गई है, उसके बाद पाकिस्तान को मुंह की देखनी पड़ी और उनको मानना पड़ा कि हाँ, उनकी फौज वहां पे कुछ समय से पड़ी हुई है। तो ये जो यात्रा है एक तरह से 75 साल पहले शुरू हो चुकी है, तो आई एम नॉट सरप्राइज्ड दैट दिस काइंड ऑफ disinformation is being indulged in. Yeah. Siddhant.
Sir, Siddhant from Beyond. Sir, we have seen a lot of negative comments coming from the Pakistani military of escalation. If tomorrow there is an escalation, there are strikes, we know one attempt has been thwarted, what will be the Indian response to those attempts of creating more escalation? Because it is looking like it's going towards more escalation. And my second question is, are any other world powers, essentially the P5 countries, the West Asian countries, reaching out to de-escalate the current situation?
Look, on escalation, we've already made our stance clear. I mean, there are two basic points. First of all, it is Pakistan that escalated on the 22nd of April. We are only responding to that escalation. And then what we have said yesterday and what my colleagues have said today, that now if there is an attempt at further escalation by Pakistan, it will be responded to in an appropriate domain. And therefore, the choice is entirely that of Pakistan to make. As to your second question, I don't think I can do better than to point you in the direction of the statements that are being made from practically every chancellery in the world and the sentiment that they are carrying. That sentiment essentially and for the major portion is support for the government of India in the context of the condemnation of the terrorist attack in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April. There is wide recognition of the government of India's right to respond to these attacks in self-defense, and of course a desire to ensure that there is not further escalation. I think these statements speak for themselves. Yeah. There.
Sir, this is Mausami from India Today. Now, in the all-party meeting, we have learned that the Defence Minister has said that, you know, in the operations in Sindoor, almost 100 terrorists were killed. Would we have any details about what is the number like, and also about if there were any big faces, masterminds, terrorist masterminds who were in fact killed? There is also a report that Masood Azhar's family's 10 members have been killed, and Rauf Asghar, who was actually the mastermind of Pulwama, he's also been badly, severely injured.
I don't have information at this point in time to share with you on these issues, but as I said, I think you know, there is so much information out there on television, in the news media, in social media, that it sometimes looks like a long time has passed since this. Please understand that slightly over 36 hours only have passed since this operation was undertaken. Let us have some patience. Information will come out and will be shared in due time. Shruti.
Thank you, Foreign Secretary. Shruti Ranjan from Bloomberg. Sir, could you give us any understanding whether India has moved the IMF or the World Bank to kind of, you know, sensitize them about the the bailout that Pakistan has, and, you know, the kind of stuff that the Pakistan government is doing?
Look, we have an executive director at the IMF. Tomorrow there is a meeting of the board of the IMF. And I'm sure that our executive director will put forward India's position. The decisions of the board are a different matter. You know the process through which they are made. But I think the case with regard to Pakistan should be self-evident to those people who generously open their pockets to bail out this country. And since you are from Bloomberg, I think you would have the data on how many IMF bailout programs have been very good. Thank you. Have been sanctioned in the space of the last 3 decades. And I think you would also have an idea of how many of those programs have actually reached successful conclusion. Probably not many. So I think this is a decision that board members have to take by looking deep within themselves and looking at the facts.
So we can, one last question, sir.
Sure.
One last question.
Foreign Secretary, I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. I would like to know, since it's an opportunity to speak to you, I would like to know the response coming from United States since last 3 weeks. Saudi Arabia, Qatar. In fact, Prime Minister Modi spoke to Qatar before the strikes that evening. Perhaps how do you read the support coming from these countries? Perhaps traditionally they were seen on the other side. This time around, their statements are strong worded. In fact, India-Saudi joint statement also had a very strong condemnation, strong worded condemnation. United States at all levels have condemned the attack and have extended support. In fact, Saudi Deputy Foreign Minister is in India. He just met EMS Jaishankar. Also, if you could shed some light on his visit, his meeting with EMS Jaishankar. In fact, we have also been told that he met Prime Minister Modi. Thank you.
Look, all the countries that you named and many others, we have been in touch with them. The Prime Minister has spoken to a large number of world leaders. A large number of world leaders have called him, as have called the External Affairs Minister. As we speak, there are conversations going on today as well with world leaders. And your assessment or conclusion of the general tenor of these messages is very much on point. And I think this is a recognition of the fact, firstly, of the barbaric nature, the unprecedented nature and character and features of the attack in Pahalgam, and a recognition of India's right to respond to this, and also a recognition of the fact that in responding, we have been nothing but responsible and have done so in a restrained, in a measured, and in a non-escalatory manner. I think that counts for something. People have taken that into account, and that is what is explaining the kinds of reactions that we are seeing. And we appreciate the sentiments and the statements that have been made by the vast majority of world leaders. Yes, the Saudi Minister of State for Foreign Affairs is in Delhi. He had a meeting with the External Affairs Minister earlier today. I don't have further details at this moment, but if there are details, the ministry will share them at some point with you. Thank you. I think that's all we have time for today. We'll join you again soon. Thank you all.
Thank you.
तो विदेश मंत्रालय की ये बहुत बहुत महत्वपूर्ण प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, जिसमें विदेश सचिव कह रहे हैं कि भारत का पलटवार है, भारत एस्केलेशन नहीं चाहता है, लेकिन हमारे बड़े शहरों को, हमारे मिलिट्री इंस्टॉलेशंस को टारगेट किया गया, हमने उसका जवाब दिया है। वो सीधे कह रहे हैं कि भारत के पलटवार को सही ठहरा रहे हैं सारे देश। वो ये कह रहे हैं डिप्लोमेटिक चैनल्स हमारे सभी देशों से खुले हुए हैं, सब देश ये मानते हैं कि भारत का जवाब सही है, भारत का पलटवार है, और जो पहलगाम